Hey there gang, Lauren here, Mrs. Tomato Head. I wanted to come to you. I did a post on the Facebook page back, when was it? It would have been February 20th. I wanted to do a bit of an experiment on starting tomato seeds with net pots. Now a net pot looks like this. It is normally used for hydroponic growing, but I had been seeing some videos and talk about using net pots as a way to start and grow your tomato seedlings because it will air prune. If you don't know about air pruning, I can't get into all the technical stuff, but it's a way that encourages growth with the roots of a tomato plant. So normally the way we start our tomato seeds in these red solo cups, and as you can see here, that is exactly what we did 3 weeks ago in the red solo cups. So I did it with a large variety, well, not a large variety. I did it with a dwarf compact variety that we grow called Little Napoli. We've been growing it for years. I also did it with a micro dwarf variety. Now, I forgot I was doing this experiment and sharing it with you all, so I'm going to cut to the chase. The micro dwarf variety did not do well in the net pots. This is a different one. I think I did, I forget if it was, I think it may have been micro Tom variety. And I did one in one of these little guys from Bootstrap Farmer. It's a 2.5 inch pot. And then I did one in, I think it's a 2-inch net pot. And it looked okay for a while. It seemed to me that the one in the net pot was lagging a bit. And then maybe like a week ago, I had to toss it. I had to toss the plant because it was just, and as you can see, I am not lacking for micro dwarfs. These, in these two trays here, those are all starter micro dwarfs. And then I will show you, well, I think I showed you in the last video. I've got much bigger ones. Like over here, I've got the some grown-up Vilmas that are fruiting for the second time. And then in the other room, I've got a whole bunch of larger ones that I started at the end of January. So at any rate, so I did 2 sizes. I did the compact dwarf variety of Little Napoli, and I did micro dwarfs. So the one thing with the net pots is they dry up because they've got so many holes in them. As you can see, the plants dry out very quickly, very quickly. You have to water them frequently. You have to stay on top of it. So in the micro dwarf, it didn't do well, but let me show you here the compact variety. So here we've got the Little Napolis, which is a compact variety. It's a paste tomato, which I'm normally not a fan of paste tomatoes. I like big juicy tomatoes. This variety we discovered several years ago. It's great. We put them on the deck. It is our earliest producer. We get tomatoes, ripe tomatoes, by the 4th of July, which in my zone 6B is a big deal. And they taste really, really good. So we grow them every year. So these were started on February 20th, and you know, looking at them, not much of a difference, but the plant to me in the solo cup just looks healthier. And I have been keeping up with the watering. It's doing fine, but I don't see, you can see down here the roots are coming through. So the air pruning, you know, is doing the trick, that it wants to expand. I just don't see any benefit, gang. I really don't. And maybe if I had done it with even a larger variety, like an indeterminate, this is a determinate tomato, which means technically they produce tomatoes all at the same time. Now we find that Little Napoli does not, even though it's technically a determinate, it tends to produce all summer, all summer long. I'm just not seeing a benefit, honestly. And the you know, disadvantage is that these dry out. So I really was hoping to see more of a difference. I'm seeing some yellowing in the leaves here on the one in the net pot. I'm not sure why that is, where the Little Napoli here in the solo cup looks super healthy. We start our seeds in these solo cups. We have a technique that we start the seeds If you can see this one's doing great. All of our plants, for the most part, were started 3 weeks ago. We start the soil, we fill the cup halfway with soil. We like to use Fox Farm Ocean Forest. We don't use a seed starting mix. We start them right in here because we keep them in here. Seed starting mixes normally, while they're lighter, they have no amendments to them. So Fox Farm Ocean Forest has worm castings, which is worm poop, and bat guano, and some, kelp meal, and lots of other things. So we plant the seeds halfway, and then as the plants grow, of course, I need to separate these. Today or tomorrow is the day we separate them, put them in their own cups. But we keep them in here, and then we keep filling soil. We will take off the lower leaves. We'll take those off because tomatoes they develop roots along their stem. So we've found that our seedlings are much healthier come planting time if we just continually add soil. This will grow bigger. This variety is called, this is Uptown Funk. Super excited for this variety this year because it is a cross between two of our favorites, Malachite Box and Berkeley Pink Tie-Dye, and also I think Indigo Rose, I think, which I haven't had, but Malachite Box is a rare variety you don't hear much of. So when I saw there was a cross between that and Berkeley Tie-Dye, which is our second favorite, I knew I had to have it. So anyway, I'm going to separate these into 2 separate cups. Mr. Tomato Head has to work today. He's got some big projects to do at work. Separate them, take the bottom leaves off, and we'll fill the soil up. And I'm telling you, gang, come planting time, our seedlings the stems are like tree trunks. They're so healthy. So that is what I'm going to be working on today. But the long and short of my experiment here is I don't see a benefit to the net pots. I really thought I'd see more. If anything, I see a disadvantage with the watering, and the micro dwarfs definitely not. I mean, while this is not the one I started the experience with, this one is a variety called Sneggerjock, and I'm sure, I don't know what language that is. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. It's just not looking great. Like a lot of my other varieties planted around the same time are looking, much healthier. So yeah, I say no on the net pots. I'm sure they've got a great purpose for hydroponics, but with what we're trying to do, I think with soil, it's just a no-go. So hope you enjoyed my little experiment, and we will talk soon. I've got so many things I want to show you guys. I want to, show you me, separating the plants and adding the soil. I want to show you my micro dwarfs. I've got so much to show you. There's so many crazy experiments I'm doing. I did plant a couple dwarf varieties, Little Napoli being one of them, earlier than 3 weeks ago. Purple Rain is another one, and Uluru Ochre. Because I wanted to, they're kind of sacrificial plants, and I'm hoping that they stay alive, but there's a product called Walla Waters or Cozy Coats. You fill it up with water, you put the plant in it. They claim that you can plant them outside 2 months earlier than normal, and that the water will kind of insulate it and form like a greenhouse effect. And even if there's a frost, it will protect it, and you will get earlier tomatoes. I'll see that for myself. So anyway, I started a couple of these plants back here. You will see, I mean, gosh, most of these were planted 3 weeks ago, so it is kind of crazy, the growth. But like, here's one. Is that one? Yeah. This is a Purple Rain dwarf, which was planted February 19th. It's looking great. So we planted others 3 weeks ago. I did, like I said, I wanted to do a few plants that if they didn't make it, I wouldn't be devastated. But I'm just curious. I'm curious to see how these Walla Waters work. Honestly, it looks like a big pain in the butt to fill them. Some of the videos claim that they are fabulous and to get early tomatoes. So thought I'd try it. It's an experimental year. We will see. But I will talk to you soon. Hope you enjoyed this experiment, and I will talk to you soon. Peace and love, and get your tomatoes on.